Hello everybody, and once again welcome to Letterbox Book Club. My name is Atlas.
And I'm Lily. Got him.
And today we will be discussing the love story of Atlas and Lily, It Starts With Us, by Colleen Hoover. Yeah, we have things to say, but before that, Lily will be reading the blurb for us today.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm tearing up. I don't know why I'm tearing up. Before it ends with us, it started with Atlas. Lily and Ryle have settled into a civil co-parenting rhythm with their daughter, Emerson, when Lily suddenly runs into Atlas nearly 2 years after they last spoke. Elated that the timing finally seems to be right to give what they have together a real chance, Atlas asks Lily on a date. But Lily's excitement is almost immediately replaced by dread and anxiety when she remembers that Ryle, though no longer her husband, is still very much part of her life. And though Ryle would dislike Lily dating anyone but him, Atlas Corrigan is the one man he absolutely will not stand having in his ex-wife and daughter's lives. Told from the perspective of Lily and Atlas, It Starts With Us gives readers a deep look into Atlas's past as he and Lily reconnect and rekindle the love that they shared as teenagers while navigating a volatile ex-husband who believes Atlas to be the one of the reasons his marriage with Lily ended. It Starts With Us picks up right where the epilogue for It Ends With Us left off, giving readers the exhilarating sequel to Colleen's best-selling phenomenon they have been begging for. Didn't have to read that part, but there we go. Sorry, I sound breathy. I don't know, it's the vodka. It's the vodka.
The one vodka she's had.
One vodka and 2 sips. I don't know, it got me nervous.
Okay, I'm going to just say some things that I think you'll
thoughts,
agree
feelings,
with first.
emotions,
Before we
Kenzie.
get into that,
Ooh.
I'd like to... trigger warnings.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, sexual assault,
Yeah.
domestic violence. I said child abuse,
Yeah.
neglect as well. Yeah.
I mean, there was a slap.
The slap. There is a good book and TV show about that. But anyway,
Oh, okay.
classic Australian literature. Anyway, yeah, thoughts, feelings, emotions. I think that we both want to start off by saying that we feel that we're very different people now to when we read It Starts With Us.
Yes, or any Coho book in general.
Yeah, I know that I am in a very different state mentally as well.
Okay.
Yeah. There's also been a lot of allegations come out against Colleen Hoover
I guess, yeah.
in recent times.
I guess,
Yeah. It's still a good book.
Sure, separate the writer from the...
Yeah, I'm separating the writer from the material.
Because, at the end of the day, someone could be an absolute cunt in life, but they could be very talented at whatever they do. And that's the frustrating thing about life, is unfortunately, you can be talented and a cunt.
Yeah.
Of a person.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. So I purchased the books. We purchased the books before we found out these things. If you want to read the book but you don't want to support the author, I'm sure your local library will have the book. I'm sure also you can somehow illegally find this online.
Maybe.
Allegedly.
Maybe.
Allegedly, if you type in PDF after the title of the book. Allegedly. It might come up.
From experience, allegedly.
Yep, it might come up. Anyway, okay. So going into it. This book was good. This is a good book.
Okay.
The story is good. To me, it read as fan service. Mm-hmm. I'm very happy that Lily and Atlas got together. I was rooting for them from the start. We've been new. They were always going to be endgame. Always something about that first love in your life. Spatula. Anyway.
Keeping it in.
That's okay. I loved that, Atlas and Lily also took their time coming together. It wasn't like...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it wasn't rushed. They hadn't seen each other and then suddenly started okay, we love each other, obviously. Yeah. Let's move in and get married straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah. What were your thoughts, feelings, and emotions?
It's a conclusion.
It is a conclusion.
I saw someone describe it as an extended epilogue.
Yeah.
And I was I fucking agree with that. Mm-hmm. That's one way to describe this book. Yeah, I suppose we always knew that, it's going to be Lily and Atlas's story. I thought it was going to be, even though I do agree with what you just said, how they did take their time, I did think it was going to be more of them navigating their actual relationship throughout the majority of the book, being together and, living with, Ryle over their shoulders type of thing. But no, I was pleasantly surprised by that. And, very interesting storyline for Atlas himself, which didn't see coming, but of course... I suppose I'll just say it now, Colleen really wanted to differentiate between the good guy and the bad guy.
Yeah.
So, like, Atlas is the good guy. He saved his, like, little brother and all that type of stuff. And, like, very much hero-savior complex.
Yeah.
And then Ryle remains being a douchebag.
Yeah.
And who has done nothing for himself to help himself. So, yeah. It was a conclusion. I enjoyed it. Like, I have no ill qualms about it, to be honest. But, yeah. A conclusion.
Yeah, so I want to talk about the characters.
Okay.
And then, so by doing that, we'll talk about, like, certain plot points.
So it's kind of talking freely as well within that.
Yeah, I think this is the easiest way to go about it, I think. So I want to talk about Ryle first.
Yes.
And I've just had a light bulb moment in my head.
Yeah.
I feel like he got the Tamlin effect
Oh,
in
yes.
this. Because, like, his character felt off.
Yes.
Yeah, like,
Yes.
very off. Because a big part of It Ends With Us was the internal conflict that Lily and us as readers have surrounding our feelings for Ryle, because, and same with what happens with Tamlin in Court of Thorns and Roses, that we were made to love them in the first book. Like, there were aspects of them that made us fall in love and that we were rooting for
And
them.
we were like, he's a good guy. Like,
Yeah, he's a good guy, we were rooting for them.
He has good intentions.
Yeah, it's like, he knocked on 42 doors to find Lily. He bought her an apartment. Like, he loved her very fiercely.
Very much rich man trope, though. But yeah.
But at the end of the day, he still pushed her down the stairs.
He still hit her.
He still hit her. He still bit her.
I completely forgot about the biting thing as well, to be honest.
I don't think it was made explicitly clear in It Ends With Us. I think it was just, like, mentioned that, like, he bit her shoulder.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was, like...
Or maybe, like, it was start off...
I don't think it was explained that he bit so much that it scarred.
No.
Yeah.
Because that shit would have fucking... I swear she would have had to have a shot or something for that, if they actually bit
tetanus.
it. Yeah,
And so that's... Yeah, I can't... That's a qualm that I have, is that you need to have some... redeeming not redeeming quality, but you need to still have some of those good qualities in him, because in this one he's come back like a dog with his tail between his legs. He's mopey. He's like, oh, Lily, like, we can give it another chance, like, I'll show you, like, and everything.
But every time he leaves, he slams the door.
Yeah, exactly, but he's mad. And then the scene where he chokes Lily and pushes her up against a door, trigger warning. Like, I feel like either lean into that and, like, make him hurt her.
Yeah.
Or just don't put it in.
Yeah.
Because
there was a lot of tense moments as well where you left thinking,
and because
is
it's
he
like, it's like you've already written it in the previous book that he does hurt her and he does hit her. And, that's awful. But, don't shy away from it now because this is a happy love story.
Yeah. I get that. And I know with Ryle... I know this is going to talk about Lily a little bit, but she kind of, like, reminisces of, like, or muses to herself that, like, she misses Ryle, because there's a moment where I think Emmy is doing something and she wants to text Ryle a photo.
Yeah.
But she's, like, conflicted about that, but then she's like, oh, but do I miss him?
Yeah.
And it's like, sure, but us as an audience as well, Ryle, because he's been mopey and really easily agitated and pissy throughout this entire book, there's no aspects of us to miss him. Like, there's nothing of his good, what he's, done good, nothing about him that we miss. So I was really confused by that as well.
Yeah.
Because, like, he's just been mopey and aggressive and annoying. Like,
yeah.
And they're definitely strayed away from him having any sort of kind of, again, not redeeming, but, like, working on himself as well. Because at the end of the last book, Lily... she's just given birth to Emmy, and that's when she decided she wants to divorce Ryle, and Ryle's having a bit of a breakdown, a bit of a cry, and then Lily's like, oh, what if our daughter comes home one day and she's like, Daddy, my boyfriend hit me, or Daddy, my boyfriend pushed me down the stairs, like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And he's crying because, like, we feel like he's, like, that's the point, like, he's realizing what kind of a monster he is.
Yeah.
But then, like,
Lily
jabs him all the time in this book, making comments, and he's just like,
Yeah, and then because also there's that thing, and it's all over TikTok now as well, it's like saying, because, they have this co-parenting arrangement or whatever, and, but Lily doesn't let Emerson stay overnight, and Ryle's like, well, when can she stay overnight? And Lily says, when she can talk, and Ryle asks, why? And Lily says, because she can tell me if something happens.
Yeah.
And then he just gets pissed off and angry about that, and I think he storms out and leaves or something.
Slams the door
but it's like,
stuff,
in the previous book, you were aware that, like, oh, yeah, like, if she did that, like, I'd be really upset because, like, he's kind of coming to terms with, like, I'm a shit person.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but in this one, rather than being like, oh, I'm angry that, like, you would even suggest that, but, like, in the...
There's evidence. Like,
there's evidence in the previous book. Like, you know that you've done this. Like, you want to make yourself better, but now you're just like, I don't want to work on myself.
Again,
like, I'm just an angry person.
It's more just, like, the complete entire character assassination just for Atlas to be put on the pedestal of being, like, the good hero guy as well. Like, Atlas deserves, like, all the good and the love in the world, but it's just for this, you know, make Ryle look like an even more of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, I was annoyed that, like, Ryle, like, they talk about him having an anger management kind of plan, which is great, but it happened in, like, the last 20 pages of the book, and I'm like, where was this throughout the entire book?
Yeah.
And it takes Atlas to have, like, a conversation with him, and, like, he kind of, like, a light bulb moment.
Yeah.
And then it takes the intervention with, like, his family and stuff. Light bulb moment, but like he just wouldn't listen to Lily, and that pissed me off.
Yeah, he wouldn't
well.
listen to the women in his life. He didn't listen to the men.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that pissed me so much. I was like, no, Atlas cannot be the one having this conversation with him right now about. I hate it. Sorry.
That's okay. Would you like to talk about Alyssa and Marshall?
Yes. Can I make a quick point real quick? Marshall. How dare he compare cheating to physical abuse, domestic violence?
I knew you were gonna bring this up. I wrote it down.
It's like, oh, you're very upset.
And not even like, it's not cheating. She kissed someone. Like,
But he got so angry, and then he cried in her arms, and they forgave each other. Oh my god!
We all know how I love platonic kisses. Last weekend, I kissed my friend. It was great. We had a good time.
Good for you.
Yeah, good for me.
It is your right.
Yeah, 'tis my right. Yeah, we tongued each other. Shout out to her.
How do you compare that to domestic violence?
Yeah, exactly.
And her being upset over being intimidated by her ex.
After being choked.
Yeah. It's like, well, Alyssa kissed somebody and I got really angry.
At a college party because she was drunk.
Oh my god. Oh my god. How embarrassing.
So, Alyssa and Marshall.
Okay, yeah. They have a bigger role in this book.
They do have a big role. I've also written the heroes we didn't know we needed. More so Alyssa. I was like, I love that Lyssa is so strongly feminist.
Okay. Turning her notes.
Turning my notes, a bit of ASMR. And she supports Lily. And while also still loving her brother, she realizes that sometimes love is conditional. And that she has to and that sometimes you can't separate a person from their actions.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, the Ryle that she knew and grew up with, like, was, like, the loving, caring brother who's just gone on, who survived a traumatic event, which that never gets brought up again.
Yes.
And, goes on to be, like, a famous neurosurgeon of Maine, or no, Boston. I don't know where they are anymore.
Yeah.
I don't really care. But, yeah. I get that, but... And it sucks that, like, the intervention at the end is when they all decide to come together for Lily, but they could have been together, like, had a chat.
They could have done that after Emerson was born.
Exactly. Yeah. And, like, they're always tiptoeing every time, like, kind of Lily was talking about, like the choking incident and all that, like, it was just like, all right, well, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, there's no real chat with her one-on-one with Ryle either. But to be fair, they're not in their point of view, so we don't know.
It could have been off screen.
Yeah. So yeah, they were alright. They're good babysitters as well.
Yeah.
Convenient, so Lily can eventually go off and have sexy time with Atlas. So
yes.
That's fun. But yeah, it was good that they had good support system for Lily as well, and like, yeah, and the towing the line and dancing around, like, kind of Ryle and her relationship with him, and like trying to make sure they're not like alone together and all that type of stuff, and you know, again, just being like a good babysitter as well for when Lily needs time to herself and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, it takes a village.
Yeah, and then definitely it takes a village, and just again, Ryle kind of surrendering to their intervention because his family's there and like his mum's there and all that type of stuff. Whereas if it was just Lily, he's like, I'll just take
should be dead.
Yeah, she'd be dead.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, so I wrote about Marshall dropping the Alyssa cheating scandal, and then in brackets, well, kissing another guy at a college party. Like,
yeah, come on.
Yeah, and I understand that. Yeah, I understand that he was trying to find something to relate to Lily about, like, oh, you know, like, one time I got, like, really upset at Alyssa.
I got really angry.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, Ryle's just nearly killed me.
Yeah. Multiple times.
And Alyssa kissed someone, I was like, I'm angry because I nearly died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, and even as Marshall said, like, he's not good at these things, so he doesn't know. But like, that is like the dumb best friend partner.
Yes,
like, I'm not good at this, but here's the life advice that's going to change your life.
And also, I think more so, I know you don't get like a lot of his point of view, but I feel like he would still almost be buddies with Ryle. For sure. So
even at the end of the book,
even at they're
dropping
driving
off
together. Yeah, so it's like, if I've said this before, like I think I said about my brother, like if he was domestic violencing his partner, like I would drop him.
Yeah,
like sorry,
goodbye. Yeah, for sure.
No excuse.
And just even quickly, I know we've kind of skimmed past over Ryle, but because like when him and Atlas are having that talk, he's like, you have no idea what I've been through, and I thought that was in reference to, I think, wasn't it? Did he accidentally kill his brother?
Yeah,
that's right. Like, that never gets brought up again. And, like, of course, that could potentially be, like, the internal stem of where his issues lie and all that type of stuff. And, like, it could all be solved in therapy.
Yeah, once again, therapy, everyone.
But, like, no.
We're huge advocates.
Yeah, and, like, but no, they settle on anger management.
Yeah.
But, like,
which is a stepping stone.
It is a stepping stone, but, like, it's, I don't know, it's weird that, like, that never got brought up again. Yeah, that could be like a reason. Yeah, I think, not that it's any excuse, because at the end of the day, it's his actions. Like he raised his hand at the end of the day. It's not like the conscience of his dead brother raised his hand or whatever.
I also think that this book isn't. It ends with us. Like if that makes sense. Like this is the love story. Yeah, and they're like, how do we explore this while also keeping it light and fluffy? Yeah.
And I think even it starts with us, the whole, like, the title of the book, because it's fun when it gets brought up in the book, but it had nothing to do with Atlas and Lily. It was Atlas and his little brother, though.
Yeah.
So, like, hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I think Colleen even says in the cover, like, this book was released, she had no intention of making, like, a sequel book or anything, and this was all due to the popularity of Book Talk, which power to the people. We love it. Yeah. But then that's where you open yourself up to...
Book Talk making modern moves. You know what's not making modern moves? Classic literature.
If you know, you know. But then you open yourself up to these types of criticisms where, like, oh, well, it's fan service, oh, well, it's too fluffy, or it's too fanficky.
Yeah. But then, I guess if you were never intending on creating a sequel,
you had to do it on the fly.
Yeah.
Which is fair. It's a hard act to balance. Yeah. So, like, credit to Colleen Hoover to even, like, do it. Because imagine you're having a whole community on the internet begging for a sequel and you're just like, no.
Yeah. I wonder, I'd love to browse, like, AO3 or whatever to see if there's any fanfic.
You can do that right now, to be honest, if you really wanted to.
Alright.
I'm sure there is. We love AO3. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's a conclusion and I like that. But I would have... still enjoyed the whole... Sorry if you hear wind in the background, it's quite weird weather where we are.
La Nina
for 2 years in a row. It sucks. I want a proper summer. Anyway. Yeah, I think I would have been happy with just the ending of It Ends With Us, because, like, then, you know, we don't have to deal with, like, whether or not it's canon if Ryan's a dickhead. Sorry, did I say Ryan? Sorry. If Ryle remains a dickhead, or if there's any semblance of hope for him. Because, like, yeah, the end of the book, it gave me a bit of hope about Ryle. But then, like, yeah, this book just killed him.
So there's an open letter to Ryle Kincaid. Kincaid? I don't know how to say it there.
Kincaid.
The discovery, what happens when Emerson finds her mother's journal. How will her relationship with her father change? It ends with us fanfiction, just Lily and Atlas being together.
How about, like, stemming off that fanfic idea, Colleen Hoover, give us an Emmy point of view when she's, like, a young adult or something. Or is it just going to be a retelling of It Ends With Us? Probably. Just as her as a father.
There's not a lot, TBH.
Oh, well, that's fine.
That's alright.
I suppose fanfiction really comes from, like, a book series or a TV show or whatever, where there's a huge ensemble of characters to mix and match with. Hello, what is that? Are we yawning or is that a shocked face?
No, it's a shocked face, sorry.
What's the shock?
The scars of your love remind me of us. Lily Bloom likes the taste of revenge more than she likes being married. And then they say, basically, I hate Ryle and I hate how the book ended, so I wrote Lily getting some revenge on Ryle, then leaving him for good instead of having a child with him or allowing him to stay in her life.
Love that, though.
Hang on.
Is she going to murder him?
I'm going to check.
We stand.
Yeah,
we're not here to condone murder, but we're here
I can forgive murder.
I can forgive murder, but I'm here for the empowerment of women.
Trigger warning, blood, violence, knives, cutting, loss of body parts.
I bet she cuts his
Penis.
dick off. Yeah, cuts his dick off.
Destroying a part of him just as he destroyed so many pieces of me. Ryle screams and falls to his knees, red tumbling down both arms now.
It sounds like she's just slashing at him.
Yeah.
I mean, good on her.
I stand over him, blah, blah. I want you to know that I don't love you. I did want to love you with my whole heart, my whole body, and my whole soul, but you broke it. You, Ryle, it was all you. You broke my love for you, and you broke the future we could have. This all because of you. I don't know if I'll ever have a child because I have seen how awful this world can be, but I do know that it ends with me. This cycle of abuse and heartbreak and love and destruction and fear and hatred, it ends with me.
Fair enough. I want to backpedal to Ryle for a second. I'm going to subconsciously call him Ryle. Just because his whole qualm throughout the book with Lily is more so to do with Alice. Because he believes that Alice ruined the marriage because of the magnet and hiding the phone number and all that type of shit. I feel like he has he has a tiptoe ground to stand on, right? Because for all this time, Lily's telling him, oh, Atlas is nothing to worry about, no one to worry about, blah, 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 blah. But then you eventually leave Ryle for him. Like, he's gonna, think 2 and 2, no matter how much she tells him, like, nothing went on throughout while they were married with Atlas, blah, 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 blah. But to him, it does look dodgy. And I feel like that is the only sliver leg, like, stool he can stand on in terms of his anger. But, like, it does not excuse, like, any of his kind of behavior. But, like, yeah, that's just the only thing. Like, she's telling him that Alice is not someone to worry about, but then she ends up, like, seeing him and stuff. And, like, it to Ryle, obviously, doesn't look great, but ultimately she can do whatever she wants. But, like, I feel like that's the only small aspect of Ryle's anger. He can hold on to that and be bitter as long as he fucking wants, you know? But, like, that's the only thing. But he's just a dickhead, really, throughout the book. So I just had to point that out.
That is okay.
Because he has a point. He has a small point. A very small point. But it doesn't excuse the fact that Lily is scared of him and intimidated by him, etc., etc. Alrighty. Who are we moving on to next? I feel like that fan fiction was a bit of a lackluster.
It was. I'm very upset.
You should write one.
Okay.
Write a book, Kenzie.
I will write a book, Claire. Thank you.
Alright, who are we talking about next? Shall we go Atlas?
No, we're talking about Theo.
Oh, Theo. Oh, the therapist. 13-year-old therapist.
Hang on. Okay. Let's look at Theo, the precious cinnamon scroll.
The precious gay cinnamon scroll.
Yeah, well, I'm getting there. Rolling with the alphabet mafia.
Love that. Colleen Hoover said gay rights. Is this the first?
We love representation, but we also recognise the bare minimum.
Yes, for sure.
Also, I love the trope of kids playing adults therapists.
Yeah.
Like, it's so funny.
I thought it was funny, but I initially thought it was weird. I was like, why? But then I'm like, yeah, I get the humour of it.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah. I'm glad he could play a role in this.
Yeah. Because, the other two characters, I forget who his father's name is.
Brad or something?
Brad and Darren, I think, because they were at the poker night or whatever in the first book. So it's nice that they stuck around, and obviously, and being, half this book is from Alice's point of view, of course we're going to be interacting with them a lot more because they work for Alice. But yeah, I didn't know he had a son, but yeah.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah, fun. Kid therapist. Yeah, again, it's just a funny sort of
I loved
relationship.
Because I loved Atlas saying, like, Lily, you can stop swimming, we've reached the shore.
Yeah.
And then Theo's just like, did you really say that? Like,
yeah, it gives like a different generational twist.
Yeah.
And like generational impacts of like books and stuff.
Yes.
It's a classic literature movie, Finding Nemo.
God. Yes.
But yeah, look, loved the banter.
Yeah.
Loved that like Theo and Josh became friends really quickly. Because like Josh could have just, been an absolute asshole.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's just a scared kid at the end of the day. Just wants to find his father.
I'm glad that he had that. Okay, well, let's talk about Josh. Sorry.
I mean, are we done with Theo?
Yeah, we're done with Theo.
Okay, sorry, Theo.
Sorry, Theo.
Love you, little gay boy, but off we go.
Yeah, off we go. So Josh, I think he was used as a plot device to give Atlas some conflict.
And superiority complex, or hero complex.
Yes, but also to like subtly show his parenting skills to Lily.
For sure.
I'm glad that he wasn't used as an obstacle between Atlas and Lily, because I thought that's like it might be like Atlas would like keep him a secret or something from Lily, and then like Lily will find out, but like think that like it's his kid or something.
Yeah.
And then ally to Theo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ally.
ally,
Yeah,
yep.
because he's like, because
He's
they're like,
my parents
"Wait,
take me to the thing.
what's the thing?
Yeah, what's
the
the
gay pride parade?
He's like, I'll go.
Yeah, you stand.
However, like when they were talking about the graffiti and the breaking in the restaurants or whatever, I was like, well, it can't be Ryle because that's too obvious.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we found out that Atlas had a brother, I think like at the same moment that Atlas figured it out, I figured it out. I was like, oh, it's his brother.
Yeah, for a second I thought it could have been like just like his mother being a bitch, because like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because like Atlas was like, oh, my mother used to say it like that, so I'm like, oh, it could have been her. I didn't really think he would have a brother. I didn't think like that would be the direction she would go in terms of with Atlas, like aligning with Atlas's story or anything. So.
Yeah, I just thought that like it could have just been like his mum or something, or like his dad coming.
Yeah,
I didn't think
I'm jealous of like how he's not reaching out to them or whatever.
Yeah.
Not that he owes them anything.
Yeah, and how successful, because in this one he has another restaurant.
Yeah, he opens up at Corrigan, which is just his last
Corrigan's.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, which is like a more fancy one.
Yeah, and I know because I think Atlas and Lily were talking at some point on the phone, and like Atlas said, "Oh, everyone needs a Lily," and like I knew that line was going to be significant, and I didn't realize it was going to be because of, you know, he is Josh's Lily in terms of saving him from like the homelessness and the abusive like household as well. So yeah, no, that was pretty cool. Like, yeah, I wasn't expecting it, and sorry. And at least I'm glad it didn't take up like a good majority of the book either, because like Lily's problem stayed with Lily's point of view, and then Atlas's problem stayed with Atlas's point of view until they were like kind of more together towards the end, where they kind of shared each other's like
I'm glad as well that Josh, like, Atlas gave him the opportunity, like, okay, like, let's go see your dad, like, I've tracked him down.
We knew that, like, Josh's dad never cared about him and never wanted to be with him. We're like, Joshy boy, you got to realise that on your own.
Yeah, but I'm glad that he did. Like, he did. Like, he got out there and then he had that realization. She's like, you know what?
He's like, a truck.
Yeah, he had a truck. Like, he had...
Because Josh had this preconceived
that
notion.
His dad somehow couldn't get to him. Like, but he saw that he had a truck, he had a house. Like, he could have come and find him. Yeah, and he was only, like 3 hours away or something. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, I'm glad that they didn't have that interaction where, like, you know, they walked up to the house and, like, Tim answered the door and he's like, fuck off, kid. You know, I'm glad it was, like, because we didn't need to really see that kind of extra trauma.
Yeah.
And just the battle for, like, the custody of Josh between Atlas and Sutton as well. Like, I don't know, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it could have been just, like, Colleen Hoover's knowledge of, like, how the judiciary system works or anything like that. Because, like, the way she wrote, like, Sutton being like, oh, you know, you can't do this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, you're a fucking negligent parent. Like, it should be that easy, you know? But I guess
it should be, but it's not.
It should be that easy. Yeah.
I
kind of forget how, because as much as a fictional book it is very much real issues, and it's hard to talk sensitively.
Yeah, if I could save every single child that had a neglectful parent, I would. But it's very hard. And this is kind of on topic but off topic. In a lot of online groups, you always see people like saying that like CPS has taken a child, they don't know what to do, blah blah blah. But like, it is very hard to remove a child from a parent, even if they are neglectful. So if they are removed, if your child is removed, it's for a very good reason. Yeah.
And then they're just like crying wolf on the internet about it.
Like, I haven't done anything, I don't know what to do. Like, it is very hard to remove a child. Yeah,
understood.
Yeah, and because a lot of times when like a child is removed from care, the number one priority is always, I think it's called like a reunification, and it's like putting the child back into the care of the sole caregiver. It's never about like taking them. It's about like, well, we need to be able to reintroduce them safely back in this environment. So it's very hard to take children.
And of course, like, the parent would have to like adjust with whatever they've done wrong and all that type of stuff and make amends.
For example, I know someone who was on heavy drugs for the first 8 weeks of her pregnancy.
Oh, wow.
But when the child is born, because there won't be drugs in the system, she'll be able to keep the child. Yeah.
Good damn.
So that's fun. But like, if a child is born with drugs in their system, it's automatically removal.
Yeah, until, I guess, further notice, until they get cleaned up and stuff. I feel like I've heard a story somewhere, or is it a book? I don't know. Someone, or it was a story on the internet about a lawyer talking about how, some sort of custody thing for a child, and like they had to prove for a year to have a drug test every 6 months about
every 6 weeks.
but for this one it was every like 3 months.
Oh.
I don't know what it was, and like they fucked it up towards the end, but like the lawyers didn't pick up on it, but like she has the child anyway and everything's fine. Like, it was just a good outcome, but like just listening to that process, it was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, fun stuff. Fun topics.
Yes, that's fun. Trigger warning. So that's Josh, and I'm glad
Josh.
that he could integrate into
Emmy's life as well.
Emmy's life,
because like it was seen that he was playing with her and everything quite well.
Yeah.
Like he's not angry. He's not.
And
he's
straight away he's just like, am I an uncle?
Yeah, like, it's funny. Like
Yeah.
he has a sense of humor again, which means this book is extra lighthearted because, who knows? You could go either way with a kid who's grown up in a situation like that. Like he could be angry and bitter and like take it out on like even Lily and stuff, but no, which is good. And Josh, he's just a kid that just is in a shit situation and of the belief that Atlas knew about him and just neglected him. But obviously that comes with Sutton manipulating and lying.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it's just everything works out and it's fine.
Yeah.
It's great. We love that.
Yeah.
Again, it's a conclusion. It's a conclusion. They have a happy family together.
Yes.
They have a new family tree.
Yes.
That they
Oh
can
yeah,
stem
that's
off of.
cute. The family tree.
But of course, in America, with any child in any sort of like I don't know movie or TV series, that's adopted or have been separated from their proper family or bio family or for whatever reason, there has to be a family tree assignment.
I had to do a family tree assignment.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I was like,
fuck that.
uh...
How do I?
I was like, I don't know. I can't do it. I don't think I did it.
Yeah.
Sutton, piece of shit. The end.
Yeah. All right, move on. Yeah.
Move on.
But the goal to like, it's just so frustrating because we hear see Atlas's point of view, and I know we're going to talk about Atlas later.
Yeah.
Like he's all like, oh, she did this, she did that, and then Sutton turns around and be like, that's not how I remember it. Like that type of parent and gaslight and manipulate and everything. And it's like, just fuck off.
Yeah.
He doesn't owe you anything.
Yeah, the amount of times I've been gaslighted into it didn't happen that way. And it's like, well, like,
it did.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried everything to get you back. Well, you didn't.
Yeah. Love it. Alright, Sutton can just fuck off.
Yeah, Sutton can fuck
But
off.
like, okay, quickly.
Okay.
This is kind of integrating two events at once, and we might talk about it later. But the parallel of the intervention with Lily and Ryle, and then the intervention with Atlas and his mother. But they both work out well, because Ryle accepts the anger management thing, and he's grumpy about it.
Yeah.
And but Sutton's like more of another chance with the whole meeting once a week for dinner.
Yeah.
Like
But she comes once.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
She only comes once and
She
then fucks
came
off?
once, yeah.
I don't remember.
I do, because that happened to me.
Oh. Oh no.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Oof. Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll just shrivel up and die right
that's
now.
okay. Yeah, no, that's what it said, because he was saying that, like, he's a blah, 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 or whatever, and then he's like, Sutton only came to one.
Oh, okay. Maybe I skimmed it.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Cool.
Struck-
I really wanted to just end
Struck
the
a
book.
chord.
Yeah, struck a chord. It held on to you.
Yeah.
It cut you deeply.
Yeah.
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning.
Alrighty, moving on. Sorry, unless you want to talk about that even more.
No.
How was your one dinner with your mother, Kenzie?
It wasn't dinner. It was just a supervised visit, and she lived in New South Wales. I was in Victoria.
Yeah. For those who are unaware, Mackenzie's adopted.
Yeah,
Adopted.
Yeah, I'm adopted. Whatever. Moving on. No, that's fine. Yeah, so she came, my biological mother, because she's not my mum, came to one supervised visit, and then at the next one, she didn't show up, and then she said something about like her friend's like car broke down or something, so she had to help her friend. But then it's like, well, by the time she like contacted about that, it's like, well, you should have already been in Victoria.
Right.
So it's she had no intention of
didn't make
coming.
it make sense.
Yeah, so gaslighting.
2 + 2 is 6.
Yeah, exactly. And then she just never like organised to come to another one.
Fair enough. And then people like that would be the first to
But
cry out.
then she fought so hard to get me back.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. They cry out, I fought so hard, but it's like, no, fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry that happened to you,
That's
Kenzie.
fine.
You're over it now, clearly.
Piece of shit, the end. Moving on.
Alright, who are we talking about next?
Do you want to talk about Atlas or Lily?
I feel like I have more of a spiel about Lily, perhaps, so maybe we can do Atlas first.
Okay, let's do Atlas. I love this man with all my heart.
Except the savior complex of having to have to...
I don't know, is it a savior complex though? Or
No,
is it...
no.
I wrote down, I'm like, because I said he can come across as too perfect.
Yes.
But I think that it's just because he reads as a man who has experienced trauma, and he...
It's frustrating.
And he has also experienced Lily's trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like...
It's not like he's two-dimensional. He actually has reasons.
Yeah, it's not like he like
His
had
depth.
a perfect life and then
Yeah.
Lily's like, my boyfriend hits me, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Because it's like the very pivotal points in his life and like developmentally, like what was he, nearly 18 and he was homeless and like Lily saved him. Maybe trauma bonded. That's another story. Anyway,
We love it.
we love it. And then, yeah, coming back to when he sees Lily again, in It Ends With Us, is like suddenly and straight away, like he can tell that Ryle is abusing her.
Yeah.
And then so he like helps her out in that. And it was always, he was never like, I'm going to come and help you. It was like, here's my number. And like in It Ends With Us, she didn't even know that he had his number. She had his number. And so, and then now, but also I was reading, because I was trying to look up their ages. Mm-hmm. He's only about 26 in It Starts With Us.
Yeah.
And Lily's only about 24.
Yeah.
Like,
because she was like 23 and it ends with us.
yeah, I could not imagine someone our age, first of all, owning 2 restaurants. Or then like being that
we're aware of.
That we're aware of.
I can't speak that we're aware of.
Yeah, or like having that emotional like
maturity
to be able to like take on.
I don't know anyone else who is as traumatized to be honest either. But yeah, that does not to say that they're not.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I also love the only time I think that he came to her was when he brought her lunch and he's like, this is you've been avoiding me pasta. Then from then he was like, no, like I gave her pasta, it's her move, like she has to make. Yeah, so it was always about making sure that Lily wanted him.
Yeah.
Not that he was chasing her.
Yeah. Whereas Ryle had the opposite effect where he was still trying to like
Lily was chasing Lily the whole time.
Yeah, despite how she feels about him and how he makes her feel like scared and threatened and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
He just didn't see that very selfish tunnel vision. Yeah, look, you just pointed out that, you know, he's been through this whole traumatic lifestyle. I'm like, you are right. I can't do it. Just can't say anything. Yeah, it does come across as too perfect, but yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, he gave Lily the space, he let her come to him, but yeah, it's that moment as well where it's like they run into each other and she's like, oh, I'll call you, and it's like, she hasn't called me back, does she really want to reconnect again, that type of thing.
But then Lily's also like, because it shows her point of view as well, she's like, it's been like 2 hours and I haven't said anything, like I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, you get 2 sides of the coin.
I also want to talk about the sexy times.
Okay.
Because I always want to talk about sexy times.
Sure.
Colleen Hoover and breast milk.
Yeah, look, Colleen, what you got going on?
This is a much more realistic depiction that I enjoyed, because they're doing sexy times or whatever, and like Lily has leaked because this is what happens, because there's all hormones and they all get mixed up.
Because like Emmy's only a few months old, I think.
She's nearly a year. Yeah, because she talks about how she wants to wean her.
Right, yep. All good. Yeah. Sorry. Another book, a baby is a few months old. Sorry.
That's okay. But yeah, breast milk is a whole situation.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like it's hormones, sexy times, Lily leaks, and Atlas doesn't make a big deal about it. He's just like, Lily, I think like you've leaked, like, and then she just goes and pumps, and he's like, chill.
Yeah, and she's a little bit embarrassed, but like, of course.
And you know what he doesn't do? He doesn't say, can I suck your titties?
No, can I try your milk?
Can I try your milk? Straight from the titty.
No. Yeah, because Atlas is, not a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, Atlas is not a serial killer.
But like, I wouldn't, if he's like, how do I say this?
If you wanted to...
Wants a taste, but like not from the titty.
Not straight from the sauce, yeah. Like, I don't go up to a cow and stick their udder in my mouth, you know?
No, exactly. You can ask, be like, I'm genuinely curious. Yeah. But yeah, nah, completely different Colleen Hoover book.
Yeah, also because as a chef, like...
Okay.
Yeah, he might, you know.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
And also, there's a lot of people told me this when I was breastfeeding, because I had like such a supply, that a lot of gym bros drink breast milk because like it's got like full of like really good, like
protein and stuff.
Yeah, like good like fatty proteins
and nutrients and shit.
Yeah, and you can like make bank selling that.
Not OnlyFans, only milk.
Yeah, no, I'm going to start a pregnant OnlyFans when I get pregnant again.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Make that bread, bitch.
I will.
Do what you want to do.
Yeah, and then I'll sell my breast milk to gym bros.
Yeah, sure. That sounds like a sound business plan.
Yeah, I got this. And then we can retire and make podcasts every day.
Oh, yes, please. Yeah. I support you. Yeah. I believe in whatever you want to do.
But yeah.
Yeah, Atlas, yeah, good boy. Yeah, glad he could easily just settle on his one like restaurant and just like
Yeah.
work there, but like it's nice that he's able to just branch out and
Yeah.
like open up another store.
Yeah, and to work to the point that he doesn't have to like physically be there.
Yeah, for sure. He just has to be there to manage the finances and all the business vague shit.
Do you want to talk about the first date when Lily falls asleep and Atlas just lets her sleep?
Sure, yeah, like I would totally do that though.
I'd love that.
I just chill.
Yeah, I'm so tired all the time. Like, I would love, it sounds like,
How long did she sleep for though?
and like in 2 hours, I think.
And he wrote that big ass fucking letter in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Far out. He can type fast.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that letter as well? Coinciding with the one note, I completely forgot what's really in it, but you don't remember.
No. I'm in two minds.
Okay.
Because, well, his was to Lily.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine. I love it. Like, I love, again, reading is sexy. But what's sexier than reading is writing.
Okay.
Like, if a man... I've gotten a couple of letters in my life from men because I've forced them to write me letters. And, like, it's sexy. Like, I love it when people write. So that was...
There's something just serene and vulnerable and honest about, like, probably a letter.
Yeah. What I didn't enjoy is when Lily starts writing to Ellen again.
Yeah.
Because I understand it's, like, thematically, you got to keep doing it.
But Ellen's cancelled
But
now.
Ellen's cancelled. Very publicly cancelled. So, like, I don't, like, could she not have, like, started writing to Atlas?
Or even herself, like, dear
Or
Lily.
herself, or Emerson.
Ooh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I would have liked that. Yeah. I was very surprised. Oh, to be fair, you did tell me Ellen made a comeback in this, but like, I was still quite surprised. That's the way Colleen went.
Sorry, I know we haven't spoken about Lily yet. We'll get to her.
I know, we're still kind of on the Atlas, but this is a small deviation.
But another qualm that I have is that a lot of the Ellen letters are copied and pasted back into this because it's Atlas reading them out of Lily's journal that she has given him.
So was it really necessary?
It wasn't necessary. I feel like it could have just been like, there could have been like a little like asterisk, like this is the letter, like, you know, page 159 in It Ends With Us. Yeah. Yeah. So, and because I don't think anyone's reading this one without having read It Ends With Us, because it's very explicitly like advertised as this is a sequel, go and read.
Yeah, It Ends With Us.
Yeah,
first. I think it even says, because Colleen has like an excerpt in here at the front and the back where it's like, we got to read this first. Yeah. It Ends With Us first. Yeah, for sure. But your first date was cute, letting her sleep. Like, I would totally do that if I was on a date and that happened and they're just exhausted living their life. Yeah. Sure. Very nice.
Yeah, I could just scroll TikTok. No worries.
Yeah, exactly. Like, quietly and like...
Yeah, I could read.
Yeah, I could read. Yeah, whip out your Kindle and your phone.
Because he reads her journal, doesn't he? Because she brought it.
Yeah, he brought it as like, because he was begging her to. Yeah. Because Ra read it out of anger and spite. And then, Atlas read it out of like love, and it was pretty cute when he was like, it's not the way I remember it, but like not in a gaslighty way, but in a like, he was at a terrible time and in my life, like how could someone like love of me. Light like that love me like this or look at me this way. It was so cute and precious. What
about the bombshell that he never had an uncle?
Yeah, I was like, oh
yeah, because you go.
I'll talk about them like in that moment together. I loved how this didn't get turned into one of those like miscommunication trope things. Yeah, because it's like it was a big thing about moving to Boston to be with his uncle. Yeah, and now that we know that there was no uncle, but Lily could have been like, oh, you lied to me, fuck you, type of thing. But no, it was just because she understood that he said that for her not to worry about him and all that type of stuff. So yeah, I just thought that was sweet, and that it didn't get twisted into a miscommunication trope. Because there was another thing as well, I think, where Atlas kind of omitted some truth, but like it's not a big deal, and it was just the maturity of them. Or maybe it's just because, again, this is like the conclusion, it's the love story, like nothing's going to break these two apart, so why start something now? Yeah. But yeah, I loved it. What about you? What did you think about that bombshell? Plot twist. Yeah, plot twist. I was angry, but then I also understood, because he was 18, and nowhere on the streets nowhere would take an 18-year-old. Yeah. And Lily was the only one that could help him, and how long can you be hiding in her bedroom? Yeah. And and even after being belted by her father, like he'd have to kind of
what about the other bombshell when that Lily's mum saw them on the couch and they were asleep? Yeah.
I don't know.
And Atlas hugged her.
I felt that's a bit... I don't agree with that one. I don't know. Because then Lily's mum was like, oh, but like I knew deep down. It's like, did you really though? Like, I don't know.
It's like, well then why didn't you do something to help? Yeah.
Like, could that have been a wake-up call for her? You know? I don't know. I just think that's a bit too fluffy, too superficial, too fairy godmother.
Yeah.
And then I left it alone.
Yeah. I love
I don't know.
Well, actually, no, I don't know how I feel about when, obviously later on, when Atlas and Lily have moved in together, and then her mum is like, oh, like, I remember him, like, it's a pretty common name, like, oh, no, pretty, like, not common name, like, Atlas.
Yeah.
If I got back together with, like, a high school ex, like, my mum would not remember them.
No, for
like,
sure.
Yeah, even if they had, like, a name like Kellogg's.
Kellogg's.
Sorry,
Shout out to Kellogg's.
Shout out to Kellogg's
please
cornflakes.
Please sponsor us.
I don't know, yeah. Sorry, I'm dumb. But yeah, even if they had like a stupid name, like my mum would not remember if I dated someone in high school.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Again, fictional families pay more attention, it seems. It was a cute moment, I guess. Like, it was good for Atlas and everything. And yeah, I don't know. Nothing really came of it, though, other than the fact that her mum knew. But I don't know. I would have lived without, like, that scene, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, it made no difference to me.
Yeah.
Again, makes Atlas seem too perfect.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you're in that situation, you're Atlas, and you see, like, your girlfriend, boyfriend's mum, and, like, you feel like you got caught, you wouldn't hug them.
No, but he hugged her because he knew.
Oh, yeah, he knew that
she was being domestic violenced.
Domestic violence. That's how we're gonna describe it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right.
Because
I don't know.
he was like, because she, I don't know. She said something, and she was like, that hug, like in that hug, she knew that he knew, and she's like, that.
Oh my god, I'm a fucking dumbass as well. I'm sorry.
It wasn't like I'm caught. I'm gonna hug you. It was. I know what you're going through.
Yeah. Look, I completely forgot that. That's what it was.
Bruh.
It was great. Sorry, I backflipped. It was great. I never said it wasn't great. What are you talking about? Nah, yeah, it was good. It was sweet. Alrighty, loved that. Anything else you can sort of say, like comments about Atlas?
I love him so much.
Who do you want him? Who do you want portraying him in the movie? There's gonna have to be a sequel movie now as well. I don't think it'll happen, but
Dylan O'Brien.
Yeah.
However, did you see that TikTok I sent you?
Yes, about how
Justin Baldoni.
Oh yeah. I don't know who Justin Baldoni is. Is he an actor or is he a TikToker? His name's familiar.
Actor. He was in Jane the Virgin. He also directed 5 Feet Apart.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, for anyone, just quickly, if anyone not aware, It Ends With Us is being made into a movie by Justin Baldoni's production company. Yeah, and he was going to direct it, and he stepped down as director because he thought that, he knew that it needed a female director to tell this type of story. And it's very much like Colleen and him are working closely together, and then also with, like, he's on TikTok, he's on the socials, he's listening to what everyone's saying for, like, soundtrack advice, like actors advice and stuff for people who want to cast. And someone asked him, is Theo James going to be in it? Because everyone wanted him to play Ryle.
Theo is
he's old now. Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Back in 2013, sure.
Sure, yeah. But back in Divergent, sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, and again, these are 26, 24-year-old people. I've just had a light bulb. Anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, so he was asked, is Theo James going to be in it? And he said no, straight out. And then he was asked, are you going to be in it? And he said maybe.
I feel like it was like a joke. Like, oh, maybe. Just to give him an answer.
I think it was like, anyway. I don't think he'd cast himself as like a significant.
I reckon he'd be Marshall.
Yeah. I don't think he'd cast himself as a core.
No.
But he would be, a side.
Yeah, for sure. Or it could be like a miscellaneous character that comes in.
And also, so Cole Sprouse was in 5 Feet Apart.
I don't want him to be in this movie.
I think he might be.
No, I don't want him to. He's not. He doesn't give me any of those vibes. He's not.
Not even for Atlas?
Not even for Alice, no. Maybe I hate Cole Sprouse. I don't want him anywhere near this.
Interesting. Because I think it would be one of the, like, Cole Sprouse, Lily Reinhart, like those sort of actors. I know, but...
No. The main chick from Wings Club. I forget her name.
Yeah, her name.
She's redhead.
Sabrina as well, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but they want her as for younger Lily.
No. They want Sadie Sink as
Sadie Sink as younger Lily. Yeah. They're like the same age.
But like Sadie Sink will look 16 for a long time.
This is true.
Yeah, look, I don't want Cole Sprouse near this movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to all the Cole Sprouse lovers out there.
That's fine.
Not even like Lily Reinhart. I don't know. I don't think this would be her.
But I'm saying it's like that niche of actors.
Yeah. The Riverdale actors.
Who can play 16.
Madeline Petch can play Lily. I hope we find out something soon.
Yeah.
Wasn't there
because there's a script.
Yeah, wasn't there a competition for people or something to like read the script in advance?
Yeah,
and they invited fans out.
Yeah, there was like
I feel like that's
20
not
of them.
I feel like that's not a normal way a movie is progressed.
No, it's not.
So I think
also the NDAs, but also like it's a book.
Yeah, so. I know it's a book. I just don't. I don't know. This process doesn't seem like normal to me, so I don't know if they're really trying to fan service it to the extent.
I think, yeah, they're very involved in listening to the fans and the internet discourse, which is not normal.
Yeah, I know. At a point, you're just going to be like, I have a vision. This is my vision. And to be fair, I think if it's coming from a book,
he's like, I'm bankrolling it.
Yeah, exactly. So isn't that not a form of manipulation? Like, making everyone feel involved in order to, like, get this movie up there. I mean, this movie I don't think it'll ever win, like, an Oscar or anything. It's going to be a fun, indie, dinky movie.
You reckon?
I reckon. Unless it's a fucking phenomenal... Big, unless it's a phenomenal actress. Phenomenal movie. I don't know what I'm saying. It's the vodka.
But, like, we didn't think After was going to make a lot of money, and then it did.
But, like, there's a difference between making money and making a critical film.
But they made 5.
I know, but, like, yeah, it's made a lot of money, and it's bankrolling. In that sense, yeah, It Ends With Us can do that, but, like, it's not going to win, like, any awards, I don't think.
Emmys?
Probably not.
You heard it here first,
Give
folks.
me a killer fucking performance from Sadie Sink, and she can have all the fucking Emmys in the world.
Yeah.
Give Sadie Sink all the Emmys. I can't talk.
Anyway, moving on. Jesus fucking Christ.
What?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Jesus Christ. Alrighty. Back on track. Sorry. Sorry for the rambling.
Sorry.
I mean, if you agree or disagree with what we have to say, please leave a comment down below, wherever you find this. Alright, so we haven't really just talked about Lily. Lily is one of the main peoples of this book, main characters.
Lily is the main character.
No, of this book it's kind of split between her and Alice. True. So, Lily. What do we think about her in this book?
Lily grew a backbone in this book.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do I say this without sounding like a dickhead, like I did in the first podcast? The book has some really good views and talks really well, even though it's through Lily, about, domestic violence and how she's had the support, and she recognises that not everyone has similar support that she has. Although I would like to disagree, I feel like she was still, like, keeping this all to herself in the first book, so it feels like she didn't really have the support, even though she has the support now.
I think
in the book, in that moment, she felt kind of like...
In the first book, she was going through a lot. Like, her dad, that she hated, had just died.
Yeah.
So she was, like, dealing with that, like, how do you grieve someone that you didn't love?
Yeah.
And then she opened her flower store.
Yeah.
And then she was getting domestic violence and
abused. She was getting abused.
Yeah, she was getting abused. And she ran into her ex, and then she got pregnant, and then, like, there was a lot going on.
Yeah, no, there was a lot going on.
Yeah, I feel like a lot in the first book, a lot of her personality kind of got drowned by her circumstance.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so this one we're, like, reintroduced to her.
Yeah. And, yeah, she talks about solid points with, like, not all domestic violence victims have, like, the access. I can't talk anymore. Have similar access to her and being able to, like, leave and all that, and, like, she's breaking the cycle again.
Yeah.
But I would like to disagree, because, like, if she just had an abortion,
I know.
Like, it's this whole thing, like, in every way I think about this, all the roads lead to victim blaming, and I don't want to victim blame, but it's like, he did... Hang on, I have the screenshot on my phone. Sorry, I'm going to sound like an absolute dickhead. So he slapped her because she laughed. He pushed her down a flight of stairs. He just, hit her. He tried to force himself on her. And, she got stitches. She bit him and all that. And, like, he physically hurt her and, all that in other ways. All this before she was pregnant, and then she was pregnant, and then she made the decision, you know what, I'm still going to let this man have some sort of connection and aspect of my life.
I'm still going to, keep him in my life.
So... For
at least 18 years.
Yes. So is that really breaking the cycle?
Yeah. Oops, it's my brother's birthday today. No, it's tomorrow, sorry.
Oh, thank God. Lucky you. But yeah, it's just the whole thing of, like, I don't want to victim blame, but there was this... I don't know. It's the pro-life of the book, Yeah. It's like, yeah...
Yeah, if I
know, it's really hard.
I'm so torn because babies are precious.
Yes. Just say it. I'm sounding like a dickhead right now.
Ryle is not your only option. Like, Atlas was there. If it was about the baby, you could have made another one.
Yes,
like,
for sure.
Flashbang.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then Ryle's gone from your life. He can't have an overarching view on what you're doing. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing as well. And, like, she even kind of... Looking back, I don't know if she ever said she regretted it, but she did feel like, she should have reported him because she should have done more to have him separated from her life. And that would have been easier if there was an abortion, but whatever. And then, sorry, quickly. And then she's like, now towards after he choked her, she was like, now I wish she kind of did something. And I was thinking that too. I'm like, I'm waiting for him to do something so you can like report him this time.
But like, you can report that. Like, he choked you and he held you against a door and he threatened you. Like, report that shit. Also, there would have been a hospital record of you attending hospital and they...
It would corroborate.
Yeah, you can say, I went to hospital because he abused me. Like, he pushed me down the fucking stairs. Or whatever. And also, Atlas was with you. That's a fucking witness.
Yeah, I know. The book makes Lily look
also,
stupid.
Yeah, because if you had reported... And, like, I understand, like, there's a fear of reporting and etc. But this is a fictional world.
We need better outcomes.
We need better... a representation of, instead of, I will sit in my silence and grieve my
but I will tell his family that he abused me and they will believe me.
Yes. Whereas especially, like, again, if you want the kid, that's fine, but if you had reported him, he would not be allowed around his child.
But then there was the argument that she had as well, like, kind of with herself, that like, he has good money for good lawyers and they'd find a way. She could never have sole custody anyway.
But you know what, he abused her, so
I know, it's hard. I know all roads lead to victim blaming, but like, we can't I don't want to victim blame. But it's like, the book somehow seems to make Lily that's like stupid and naive as well. And I understand, like, the fear of like telling someone something so vulnerable and like, it's just hard. But like, we see that a lot in everyday life, women not coming forward for XYZ reasons or feeling, but like,
and that is their right.
And it's their right.
Yeah, this is a fictional world where you have the ability to be like,
change the conversation.
In a perfect world, this is what would happen.
I don't know. That was just my only annoying thing about it. But she does bring up like good points again. Like, it's a good kind of little resourceful book where she's musing of like, not everyone has had the same opportunity as me and all that type of stuff. So it's great in that aspect. But I don't know. Some aspects of this book just make Lily sound dumb. And like, and like, she throws all these verbal jabs at Ryle about like, I forget what she said, but one really struck him to the core. And like, it's like, so you'll throw these jabs at him and he'll take it, but like, you're not gonna like, report it to the police or anything. Like, it's just frustrating. But I suppose it's the modern world as well. We need to all have the confidence of a mediocre white man, even if reporting these types of things. Just go up and say what you need to say and fuck off on their reaction if they like don't take it seriously. Or there needs to be better like procedure for, say, police officers and like doctors and nurses who have patients that come in for this thing. Like, there needs to be more better etiquette taught.
I know that it's also like not relevant in this, but I think there needs to be more like reform surrounding like online stuff.
For sure.
Because like there's so many things that like a person will be like threaten you online, and then the police will be like, well, we can't do anything, it's online. Like, they haven't actually
or they can't do anything until someone actually hurts you.
They can't do anything, and it's like, if I wait for someone to hurt me, I'll be dead, they'll kill me.
But I suppose that's where like, you make a report and they keep the report of what's said, and then they just like hold it against them if something does happen.
In a perfect world. I don't know. We're just spitballing.
Like, I've never had to like report any incidents or anything, so it's very easy for me to come in all guns blazing and not really knowing about how to handle anything. But
well, I actually just think everything's a lie. So
everything's a lie. Allegedly.
Anyway, shall we move on?
I don't know if there's anything else I need to say about Lily.
I want to talk about their timeline. Well, Lily said like, you can't ask me to move in until 6 months. And then you can't ask me to marry you until a year and a half.
Something like that. But that's a year and a half from moving in. From moving in. So like, Lily, they like, she has a type where they like to move along straight away.
But also like, I guess you could get caught up in like the honeymoon phase of it all, because they've been in love this whole time. They just have to find their way back to each other, and then so I feel like they could have like rushed into it. So
they had that right. It's not like two strangers.
I'm glad that they didn't.
I loved when Lily was talking to Alyssa, because Alyssa was talking about eloping in Vegas or something, and then Lily's just like, referring back to her time, like, I regret the marriage, but it was fun. You know? And I loved how the last page of the book is Atlas writing his wedding vows and stuff, and just tucking it into his pocket. And
then what was the one about a fish? I wish you were my fish or whatever.
Something like that. But like, I skimmed all the letters as well. I'm sorry. This is why I probably didn't know that Sutton only went to the thing once. It was probably in a letter.
This is probably why we didn't know that Ryle bit Lily so hard that he left the scar.
But that's insane. Look, I don't know, dude. But I don't know. I feel like we really brushed over Lily, but like, she's a great mum. She will do whatever it takes to protect Emmy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just sucks that, you know, yeah, she was able to like jab Ryle with all these, obviously domestic abuse insults and stuff, which is fair and fine and bitter because she's allowed to be angry and defend herself. But it sucks that he could easily like just intimidate her and again with Ryle, lost all sense of hope that something was gonna.
With Ryle, like I wish there had been, he had been gentle or sweet in something, because again, like we did love him.
Yeah.
In the first book, and Lily loved him so.
Yeah, and again, as I said
this one,
earlier,
he's just like awful.
Yeah, as I said earlier, like she mused, like she kind of missed the relationship.
Yeah.
But in this book so far, he had done nothing to kind of reminisce of all the good times. So what was there to really miss?
Yeah.
But yeah, they live happily ever after.
Yeah.
Fun. I still don't think she broke the cycle just because of the whole, like, he is remaining in her life one way or another.
Yeah.
I said in the last potty, like, what if, Emerson is like 15 years old and she does some teenage hoodwinkery and Ryle gets pissed off, what's going to happen? Mm-hmm. And it's all because an appointment was not made. Mm-hmm. And yeah, she could have a child with Atlas anytime now.
Yeah. And also,
I suppose Josh
even,
is her adopted.
like, I know...
Overall, it's a conclusion. Would it have been nice as well, as we're talking about, like, this is a fictional world, we're trying to create, like, a perfect kind of outcome, would it have been nice for Ryle to, like, have a bit of a turnaround?
Yeah.
Because I've seen online that people don't want Ryle to have a turnaround.
Oh.
But then, not in the turnaround as, like, oh, he's suddenly, you know, he's a king, you know, he's a feminist
No, but I
king.
wish he had highlighted more of him, like, going to work on himself. Like, you're like, okay, I will go to anger management. Like, I'll go to therapy. Like, I'm really trying to, like...
Yeah.
Do it. And then I don't know, like if there had been a moment where like he was getting heightened and then like if he had just walked away or whatever, and he's like,
there were moments where he would like put his hands around his head and take a few deep breaths, but like
that's intimidating.
Yeah, huff and puff and then slam the door. Because like I don't know, it was just really weird how like it was just complete distinct character like death of him to make Atlas become more of the perfect option.
Yeah.
But yeah, because we live in a world where, like, a lot of the times, like, obviously the men don't really change. Like, you leave them, they'll find another partner, the cycle just continues, etc. But, like, yeah, it would have been nice if you had, like, a moment where even has another cry, like, not that crying absolves all terrible energy and all that, but, like, yeah. But I guess it's hard because, again, this book is not about Ryle's point of view, so we don't know what he's been doing or thinking. He just probably thinks the silent treatment and, like, tiptoeing is his punishment and the divorce is his punishment. And again, he cracks the shits because, like, oh, we've been perfect for a year and a half. We've been working well, and then Atlas turns up. You have a small leg to stand on, but, like, it's not enough to warrant being controlling and manipulative. Do you think there'll be, like, somehow, like, a third book in the future about Emmy or anything?
I don't think so.
I think we're done with
this.
this.
I don't think you can go further. Like, it's a happy ending for everyone.
Yeah. I'm glad to be done with it.
Yeah.
Although, one quick qualm. It did say 2 years, and then there was like a year and a half they ran into each other. I was like, what? That's not 2 years. Yeah. I felt that in my core. Kenzie just whacked her knee on the table. And with that, thanks she's domestic violencing herself.
Thanks everyone for listening. We hope you enjoyed it.
We hope we have. We're gonna get cancelled.
We hope we don't get cancelled.
I don't know. Feel what you want to feel. Like, everyone's subjective and critiquing. Like, we're not critiquing.
It's fine for us to sit here and talk about a fictional situation that we've had no real world experience in.
For sure, yeah. So let us be ignorant, I guess. But yeah, if you've enjoyed it and whatever, let us know in the comments and stuff, wherever you find us from, whether it be like Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, blah blah blah. Check out our link tree, which is on our
link
Instagram.
in the bio.
Link in the bio. It's gonna be the new thing, and you'll find us in all the places, hopefully.
Yeah.
So yeah, check us out for the next book. Which would be Destined, I think, in the House of Night series. If you're following along at home, so join us along for that journey. Last quarter of the book series. Finally gonna get it done.
I shouldn't have suggested it. I should never have suggested it.
It's okay.
But what other books would we be reading right now?
From Blood and Ash.
Fuck!
Ice Planet Barbarian. That's gonna be a lit classic in 200 years. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening. And I'm glad, It Ends With Us has a solid conclusion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
just
glad
happy.
Lily and Atlas have found their way back.
Perhaps when the movie's out, we can have a potty about the movie.
Yeah.
And talk thoughts, feelings, emotions.
Yes.
See if anything's changed.
Yeah.
But yeah, stick around for that if that happens.
Yeah, just
The
remember.
movie needs to come out first.
Yeah. We've reached the shore. You can stop swimming.
With that, goodbye. You can say goodbye.
Goodbye. I thought that was my goodbye.